Earlier today, Colin Cowherd on FS1 on his show, The Herd, had a segment discussing Micah Parsons, and he gave some thoughts about Parsons. And I'll read you here exactly what he said, but Micah Parsons responds to him on X. And so I want to get to both of these things here. I'll show you first what Colin Cowherd said. Here's the tweet from The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Quote, Micah's rep has always been he is a splash player, a remarkable athletic splash player. He's not good against the run, end of quote. Then it says Colin Cowherd isn't surprised at Micah Parsons' recent lack of impact. First off, that is just not factually true. Colin did say at the beginning of this segment, which is like 3 minutes, I'll leave a link to the whole thing down below, but he said that, mentioned last night, said Parsons didn't have a sack, didn't have a hit. But if you look at last night, Micah Parsons was very impactful. PFF had him with 7 total pressures. The next closest Packers player was Rashawn Gary with 2 pressures. So Micah Parsons was impactful yesterday. But now let me read to you what Micah Parsons responds back on X in the past about 30 minutes. He says here, first off, 4 laughy emojis. And then he says, we just held Saquon Barkley to 60 rushing yards, and our only losses have been holding teams to 13 points. Man, sometimes can y'all please bleep and enjoy great defense? Why do you think teams come into the games that we're going to run the ball on 3rd and long? What effect do you think that is? Please stop giving people's mics or listening to trash. And so I think Micah Parsons, with the the level of player that he is, with the respect I would say he has, and the just overall success that he's had during his time in the NFL, I feel like someone of his caliber, has the ability to respond to someone on social media like a Colin Cowherd. And because he's actually been playing good football, it's not like it's something that you would say, maybe you shouldn't do that. I'm totally fine with Micah Parsons, sort of stating the truth here. Because this idea that Micah Parsons is not good against the run, it's just not a reality, especially this season. So far this year, coming into this game, before this week, Micah Parsons, among edge rushers, was 5th in the NFL when it came to ESPN's run-stop win rate, ahead of Myles Garrett, who is 8th. And Micah Parsons right now, in the entire NFL per PFF, 3rd most pressures in the entire NFL. He's currently 13th, tied for 13th in sacks at 6.5. But Micah Parsons, game in and game out, has been affecting opposing offenses. And as Parsons brings up, this Packers defense in these losses has dominated. Colin Cowherd brought up some of the Packers' losses and compared it to the Cowboys' losses last year in the records. But Micah Parsons has been dominant, and the Packers have had, terrible offensive performances, which has been the reason that this Packers team has lost lots of these games. And the Packers defense this year, 6th fewest rush yards in the NFL and in yards per carry allowed. And so I like to see Micah Parsons here defending himself because he's been really good this year. This idea that he hasn't been impactful, that he wasn't impactful in yesterday's game, that's not the case. The Eagles scored 10 points. Micah Parsons was affecting things consistently. And so that's just sort of the reality of this situation. If you guys want more Packers content, feel free to subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys next time.